Good morning, friends. My name is Stephen from Waarheid Truth, and we talk truth into this world. Today, we're doing a discussion of two parts. The first one is what is my purpose on earth and who am I? Because that determines my purpose on earth. So, let us have a look at it. So, let's first discuss who am I? What and how were I made? I consist of a spirit. I'm born with spirit, that's my life. I'm born into a body with a soul, and that makes this total me, if I may put it that way. In other words, a sense of me, my meaning. So my soul is obviously my emotions, my intellect, my thoughts, the life I am, my personality. All right. So man is made in the image of God Trinity. We are a spiritual being with a soul that lives in a body. So when the body dies, that part, it returns to dust in the earth. But my spirit with my soul move on to the next home after death. And obviously my final decisions on earth will determine where I spend eternity. Understand one thing, we never die. Once you are born, God made you to do a job on earth and in heaven or wherever it will be, and that is you live forever. So the spirit includes the soul and the spiritual heart. And as I said, the soul involves our intellect, our thoughts, our emotions. So that is who we are, our belief system, our personality, our mindset, our talents and attributes. So we need to understand these dynamics of who we are. Why? Now let's have a look at how this development of the I develops. How did you develop? Phase one is where God calls me for a purpose He planned ages before my birth. He then develops the blueprint according to the specifications needed to fulfill my purpose on earth. So He got a place for me on this earth. What role must I play millennia into the future? Before the foundation of the earth, He already decided that you and I need to live at this specific moment in time, and we have a role to play. So He makes me, He loves me so much that He made us in mind with what we need to do. He built us according to that blueprint I talk about. So my innate talents, my abilities, my preferences, it even includes my passions and my likes. He will never commission us for a purpose in a field in which we do not like to be, a world we hate, or a job we detest, or circumstances we detest. He did not make us that way. He does not give us a task for which we are not perfectly equipped. Phase two is how we develop. The listening, learning, and assimilation process begins at conception. The subconscious mind stores all the information, impulses, thoughts, and words it receives. We know how the mind works. Nothing is ever forgotten. This information builds onto the foundation laid by the Lord. In other words, life happens to us. Out of this stems our belief system, our thoughts, our mindset. This does not mean we are born sin-free. Quite the contrary. We are born in sin through the curse of the fall. So this beautiful newborn baby, which were you, is not sin-free and holy. This perfect, innocent baby carries the fruit of the predecessors, good and bad. In other words, the circumstances of my conception, growth, until birth, and birth is the starting point for the rest of my life into ad infinitum. All right. So your job, my job, your place, my place, or calling is waiting for you to be filled so that you can change the world according to God's will. I call it the tapestry of life. There is that very specific place waiting for you to take your place. to complete the tapestry as he thinks it could. That every person on this earth that were ever born, the current 8 billion people on earth, all has a space and a place they need to fulfill on earth. That will be the perfect place for you. Why? Because God loves us and He has the biggest dreams and purpose for us. He made you to fulfill a specific task for Him in His tapestry of life. God chose to complete His work through people on earth. One of the mysteries in the universe is why the Lord wants to work through people. We will understand one day. One reason is because He loves us so much. What and where is the spot? Our task is to submit, listen, and find out what He wants for our lives. The multitude of people know what they want to do. But on the other hand, there are millions, which includes myself in my past, is that we did not know what we were built for, what we were made for, what will be the perfect world for us. So if we don't get to that spot, that part stays empty and the picture, tragically, is never completed. There's one premise in this whole thing. Look at this beautiful picture. I took it from this person on Pinterest. How if we look up at the night sky, especially if you're in a dark place and you see the vastness of it, forget the calculations and the numerics around it for the clever people working with astronomy. How majestic large is God Trinity. His space, structures and plans for mankind is infinitely larger than we could ever fathom or dream or even fantasize about. We just do not have that ability. He planned your space on earth before the foundation of the world was laid. So there is space for you. He made you for a very specific purpose. And that is the only place where you will really be happy and content. Right, so let's discuss with where are you today? Are you in a happy place? Great. Then you proceed as usual. If you feel empty, unfulfilled, frustrated maybe, mentally or emotionally, career-wise, even physically, if you're asking, getting to a stage where you're asking of your life, what the hell am I doing here? If we're insensitive for what we were designed for, then life will be a dreadful daily trudge. The devastating outcome of such existence bring into play a quite extraordinary law, the principle of unfair exchange, as explained by a brilliant book from Dr. F. de Martini. Maybe this is something to discuss next time. The principle basically says, I sell myself at a discount price to the world, which leads to resentment, hate, discontent, and I finally can even burn out. That's the tragedy of this. Destiny. If I live a life and subject myself to conditions and circumstances I was never designed for, my life will tragically never reach its full potential, and I will never complete my crucial part of the picture in the tapestry of life. And everybody around me will be negatively affected and will also pluck the fruit of discontent. Imbalance, and that may never reach their full potential to fulfill their destiny. So I have a ripple effect of the world around me if I'm not at the place where I need to be. So what's the roadmap ahead? I will discuss that in the next video. So please have a look at my channel and subscribe on the process where we're going to discuss and help you. If you are interested, would like to work through a small workshop and the exercise where we help you of who am I and what was I made for. So the roadmap is we're going to have a look at who am I, what are my dreams, what do I want to achieve, What do I like? What are my interests? In other words, I'm throwing questions at you to think about. You have a look at it so long until you look and watch the next video. And what am I? What am I good with? What am I comfortable? What is my interest in life? In what environment do I excel? My perfect career or my job or my post or my space or place in the world. And what would I love to do? Where does God, in other words, want me? So we will drill down to assist you, and then you can start to identify your purpose or purposes for that matter. So, what would be great for you to think about in the meantime is, who am I? What do you like? What do you dislike intensely? What are your attributes? What are your talents and strengths? Your weaknesses? What interests you? And what abhors you? What is your personality type? Ask your friends, family, people around you. In other words, what were you made for? We were not all made to do the same things. If we have an analogy with cars, some of us are a Beetle, some of us are sport cars, some has got to do very heavy trucking or light trucking and move things around. So we all have different but very specific purposes in life. So what are you? Let's try and help you to identify who you are. So think about it and write it down, and we'll discuss it next time. Thank you for your time. Bye.